out our shirt on Teespring.
The life and teachings of Jesus of Nazareth have captivated humanity for centuries. His story is not just a religious narrative, but a cornerstone of Western civilization, influencing art, culture, and philosophy. From the humble beginnings in a manger in Bethlehem to the profound moments on the cross at Golgotha, every aspect of Jesus' life has been meticulously chronicled and revered. His story, as told in the Christian Gospels, is a compelling narrative of miracles, sacrifice, and resurrection. These accounts have inspired countless generations, offering a message of hope, redemption, and eternal life. The miracles attributed to Jesus, from turning water into wine to raising the dead, have become emblematic of divine intervention in human affairs. However, when we view Jesus through the lens of comparative mythology, we uncover intriguing parallels with other religious traditions. Figures like Horus of Egypt, Mithras of Persia, and Krishna of India share striking similarities with the narrative of Jesus. These parallels invite us to explore the possibility of shared archetypes and common themes that transcend individual cultures. This exploration does not aim to diminish the significance of Jesus, but rather to enrich our understanding of his story and its place within the broader tapestry of human belief. By examining these connections, we can appreciate the universal themes of sacrifice, rebirth, and salvation that resonate across different mythologies. It's a journey into the heart of myth-making, seeking to separate historical fact from legendary embellishment. This process involves scrutinizing ancient texts, understanding the cultural context in which they were written, and recognizing the symbolic language often employed by storytellers of the past. Comparative mythology encourages us to ask, how do the stories of Jesus resonate with narratives from other cultures? What common threads can we find in the tales of gods and heroes from different parts of the world? These questions open up a rich field of inquiry that bridges the gap between history, religion, and literature. Were the Gospel writers influenced by pre-existing myths and archetypes? Did they draw upon the rich tapestry of stories and symbols that were prevalent in the ancient Mediterranean world? By exploring these possibilities, we can gain insights into the creative processes that shaped the early Christian narrative. By carefully examining these questions, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the cultural and historical milieu in which Christianity emerged. The ancient world was a melting pot of ideas where different cultures and religions interacted and influenced one another. Understanding this context helps us see the Gospels not just as religious texts, but as products of their time. We can also begin to distinguish the Jesus of history from the Christ of faith. The historical Jesus was a man who lived in a specific time and place, while the Christ of faith is a figure imbued with theological significance. This distinction allows us to appreciate the multifaceted nature of Jesus' legacy. This exploration will take us back to the ancient Mediterranean world, a melting pot of cultures and beliefs. It was a time of great intellectual and spiritual ferment where ideas from different traditions mingled and evolved. By retracing these historical pathways, we can uncover the diverse influences that shaped the story of Jesus. We will delve into the Jewish traditions that shaped Jesus' worldview and explore potential influences from Greek, Roman, and even Egyptian mythology. Each of these cultures contributed to the rich tapestry of beliefs and practices that characterized the ancient world, and understanding their impact on early Christianity is crucial for a comprehensive view of Jesus' story. Our goal is not to prove or disprove the Gospel's validity, but to engage in a nuanced and respectful examination of their literary and historical contexts. By doing so, we can appreciate the Gospels as both sacred texts and historical documents, each offering valuable insights into the life and times of Jesus. Ultimately, by understanding the myths and legends that surround the figure of Jesus, we can arrive at a more profound understanding of his enduring legacy. This journey through comparative mythology not only enriches our knowledge of Jesus, but also highlights the shared human quest for meaning, transcendence, and connection with the divine. To comprehend the narratives surrounding Jesus, we must first delve into the rich tapestry of Jewish tradition that served as its backdrop. This rich cultural and religious heritage provides the essential context for understanding the life and teachings of Jesus as depicted in the Synoptic Gospels. The Synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, are deeply rooted in Jewish thought and prophecy. These texts are not just historical accounts, but are imbued with the spiritual and cultural ethos of Judaism, reflecting its laws, traditions, and prophetic visions. Jesus, born a Jew in Roman-occupied Palestine, inherited a legacy steeped in the law of Moses and the pronouncements of fiery prophets. His upbringing and ministry were profoundly influenced by the Jewish customs and religious practices of his time. The Gospels often present Jesus as the fulfillment of Jewish prophecies, drawing parallels between his life and the experiences of figures like Moses and Elijah. These comparisons are not coincidental, but are deliberate efforts to position Jesus within the continuum of Jewish prophetic tradition. Like Moses, Jesus delivers his followers from oppression and provides them with a new covenant. This new covenant is seen as a continuation and fulfillment of the promises made to the Jewish people, offering a renewed relationship with God. Like Elijah, he is said to have ascended to heaven. This ascension is a powerful symbol of his divine mission and his role as a bridge between the earthly and the heavenly realms. These parallels were not mere literary devices, but powerful affirmations of Jesus' significance within the Jewish tradition. They underscore the belief that Jesus was not an outsider, but an integral part of the Jewish narrative. Moreover, Jesus' teachings frequently echo the ethical precepts of Judaism, emphasizing love, compassion, and justice. His messages often reflect the core values found in Jewish teachings, such as the importance of caring for the marginalized and upholding social justice. His famous pronouncements, such as "love your neighbor as yourself," have clear roots in the Hebrew Bible. This commandment, central to Jewish ethics, is reiterated by Jesus as a fundamental principle of his teachings. The Sermon on the Mount, with its emphasis on humility and righteousness, can be seen as a radical interpretation of Jewish law, urging a deeper, more spiritual understanding of its precepts. Jesus calls for an internalization of the law, focusing on the spirit rather than the letter. It is crucial to remember that during Jesus' time, Judaism was not a monolithic entity. The Jewish community was diverse, with various groups holding different beliefs and practices. Various sects, such as the Pharisees, Sadducees, and Essenes, held differing interpretations of Jewish law and messianic expectations. These groups often debated the nature of the Messiah and the correct way to live according to God's will. This diversity of thought within Judaism influenced how Jesus' message was received and subsequently interpreted by his followers. The varied responses to his teachings reflect the complex religious landscape of the time. Understanding this intricate relationship between Jesus and his Jewish heritage is crucial for any meaningful analysis of his life and teachings. It allows us to appreciate the depth and richness of his message and its profound connection to the Jewish tradition. Venturing beyond Jewish tradition, we encounter intriguing parallels between the Jesus of the Gospels and Asclepius, the Greek god of healing. Both figures, though separated by culture and time, share remarkable similarities in their roles as divine healers. Their stories have captivated the imaginations of countless generations, offering hope and solace to the afflicted. Asclepius, often depicted with a staff entwined by a serpent, was revered throughout the Greco-Roman world for his miraculous ability to cure the sick. This staff, known as the rod of Asclepius, has become a symbol of medicine and healing that endures to this day. Asclepius's legend tells of his exceptional skills, which were so profound that he could even bring the dead back to life, a feat that eventually led to his demise at the hands of Zeus, who feared the disruption of the natural order. Temples dedicated to Asclepius, known as Asclepions, functioned as healing sanctuaries, attracting the afflicted from far and wide. These temples were not just places of worship, but also centers of medical knowledge and practice. Pilgrims would come to these sanctuaries, seeking cures through a combination of prayer, ritual, and practical treatments administered by priests and healers. The Asclepions were often located in serene, natural settings, believed to be conducive to healing and recovery. The Gospels portray Jesus as a healer of extraordinary power, capable of curing blindness, leprosy, and even raising the dead. His miracles were seen as signs of divine authority and compassion, drawing large crowds who sought his touch. Jesus' healing acts were not only physical but also spiritual, offering forgiveness and restoration to those who believed in him. His reputation as a healer spread rapidly, making him a central figure in the lives of many who were desperate for relief from their ailments. Like the supplicants at the Asclepions, those seeking Jesus' healing touch often did so with unwavering faith, believing in his divine power to alleviate their suffering. This faith was a crucial element in the healing process, as both Asclepius and Jesus emphasized the importance of belief and trust in their abilities. The stories of miraculous healing served to strengthen the faith of their followers and attract new believers, creating a powerful narrative of hope and divine intervention. The narratives surrounding Asclepius and Jesus share striking similarities, particularly in their emphasis on faith as a catalyst for miraculous healing. Both figures operated within a framework where the belief of the afflicted played a pivotal role in their recovery. This shared emphasis on faith highlights a common thread in human experience, where hope and belief in a higher power can lead to profound transformations. However, it is essential to recognize the distinct contexts in which these healing narratives arose. The cultural, religious, and historical backgrounds of Asclepius and Jesus were vastly different, shaping their stories and the ways in which they were perceived by their followers. Understanding these contexts allows us to appreciate the unique contributions of each figure to their respective traditions. Asclepius, firmly entrenched within the Greek pantheon, represented a more distant Olympian deity whose powers were accessed through ritual and supplication. His followers engaged in elaborate ceremonies and offerings to gain his favor, reflecting the structured and hierarchical nature of ancient Greek religion. Asclepius's role as a healer was part of a broader system of divine intervention, where gods and goddesses each had specific domains and responsibilities. Jesus, on the other hand, offered a more intimate, personal form of healing, often depicted as extending compassion and empathy alongside his miraculous touch. His approach was direct and relational, emphasizing a personal connection with those he healed. This personal touch made Jesus' healing ministry deeply impactful, as it conveyed a sense of divine love and care that resonated with the common people. His miracles were seen as acts of grace, accessible to all who had faith. While the question of direct influence remains a subject of debate among scholars, the parallels between Asclepius and Jesus offer a glimpse into the broader cultural milieu in which early Christianity took root. The similarities in their healing narratives suggest a shared human longing for health and wholeness, transcending cultural and religious boundaries. These parallels also highlight the ways in which early Christian communities might have understood and communicated Jesus' healing powers within a familiar framework of divine intervention. The prevalence of healing cults and the widespread belief in miraculous cures created fertile ground for the reception of Jesus' message, particularly as his followers proclaimed him as the ultimate healer, capable of restoring not just the body but the soul as well. This holistic approach to healing, addressing both physical and spiritual needs, resonated deeply with people of the time, contributing to the rapid spread of Christianity and the enduring legacy of Jesus as a healer.